All right, let's talk about the factory floor. Forget the usual software upgrades. The biggest change that's coming isn't a new program, it's actually a new hire. We're talking about bringing an entirely new kind of intelligence into the fold. And I mean that literally. This isn't just another robot on the line, and it's definitely not just a smarter dashboard. You need to think of it as a new coworker, a digital teammate that doesn't just follow a list of instructions, but actually thinks, reasons, and acts all on its own. And you're going to want to circle a date on your calendar. All signs are pointing to 2026 as the real inflection point, the moment this new era of manufacturing truly kicks into high gear. So what does this shift from a dashboard to a brain actually look like? Well, it's the difference between a tool that just shows you a problem and a teammate that goes ahead and solves it for you. Okay, so let's get into the core concept here, the agentic shift. This is the central idea that's powering this entire transformation we're seeing. You know, for the last decade, it's all been about digital transformation, which really just meant turning paper into pixels. The next leap, though, isn't about just having the data. It's about building systems that can act on that data completely on their own. And Agentic AI is the engine making it all happen. See, it's not just another predictive algorithm. It's a true digital agent. Its power comes from a really simple three-step loop. It can perceive what's happening, it can reason about the best thing to do, and then it can execute a plan. That simple loop is what makes it so fundamentally different from anything we've had before. This chart really breaks down the difference perfectly. Traditional automation is super rigid, you know? It's all built on if-then logic. Think, if the temperature hits X, then sound an alarm. But agentic AI, it's goal-oriented. It understands the goal is to prevent overheating, and it can reason its way to a solution. It can digest all kinds of data, not just neat spreadsheets, but messy things like maintenance manuals, and instead of just alerting a human, it executes the entire workflow. But here's the kicker. It's not static. It's built to constantly learn and improve. Okay, so theory is great, but let's put this digital teammate to work. How does this actually change things out there on the factory floor? Let's walk through 3 really powerful examples. So in the past, the best an AI could do was predict that a machine was going to fail. It would ping an alert, right? While an agentic AI goes so much farther. It doesn't just predict the failure, it checks the spare parts inventory, autonomously orders the part if it's missing, and then schedules the technician to come in during a time when production is already low. And the impact of that shift from just predicting a problem to proactively solving it is just huge. The data shows this can lead to a 70% reduction in unplanned downtime. For any manufacturer, that is an absolutely massive gain. Or how about quality control? A standard vision system can flag a defect, sure, but an agentic system, it plays detective. It doesn't just spot the problem, it traces the data all the way back to find the root cause. And if it detects a pattern, it can autonomously recalibrate the machine to fix the issue right then and there, preventing a costly recall down the line. This is how you drive defect detection accuracy to over 99%. That's a level of precision that, frankly, far surpasses what even the most skilled human inspector can keep up over a long shift. And this intelligence isn't just trapped inside the factory walls. Out in the supply chain, you can have a team of agents monitoring global events. We're talking weather, port strikes, you name it, and cross-referencing that with internal data like inventory levels to handle disruptions before they even become a problem. The key here is proactive autonomy. The system is constantly monitoring for signals. The moment it detects a disruption, like that port strike, it doesn't just send an alert. It immediately analyzes inventory levels, and then it acts, rerouting shipments, maybe even sourcing from a backup supplier, often before a human manager has even finished their morning coffee. So for all the founders, developers, and industry leaders watching this, a paradigm shift like this doesn't just change operations. It creates massive, brand new business openings. So for anyone looking to build in this space, where are the billion-dollar gaps? Where's the real opportunity? Let's break down 4 of the biggest ones that are opening up right now. And the opportunities here are incredibly diverse. First, you've got the industrial co-pilot. Think of an AI that can capture decades of knowledge from retiring engineers. Or there's agentic middleware, which is basically a universal translator that helps old 1990s-era factory hardware talk to the modern cloud. This performance as a service model is also a total game changer. Instead of selling software, startups can sell outcomes. For example, a company could deploy an energy optimization agent, and its whole business model is just taking a cut of the 30 to 40% in energy savings it generates for the client. The factory gets all the benefit with zero upfront cost. It's brilliant.
Okay, but of course, this isn't some simple plug-and-play future. Implementing these powerful systems brings some very real challenges that absolutely have to be solved.
And it really boils down to two main roadblocks: trust and data. First, trust. You can't just hand over the keys to the kingdom completely. For critical actions like shutting down a whole production line or spending serious money, you still need a human in the loop to hit that final confirm button. And second, there's the data problem. An AI agent is only as smart as the data it can actually access. And the reality on the ground is that most factories are a patchwork of disconnected systems and old hardware, creating these huge data silos that are almost impossible to work with. But here's where challenges create some of the biggest opportunities. This massive data gap is precisely why that agentic middleware, that universal translator we just mentioned, is such a critical and valuable area for founders and developers to be focusing on. If you solve this one problem, you unlock everything else.
So, when we put all these pieces together, the tech, the applications, the opportunities, the challenges, what's the ultimate takeaway? What does this monumental shift really mean?
It's this transformation isn't just about making factories more efficient. It's about fundamentally rethinking the entire industrial workforce and the very nature of what we call operational intelligence. The lines between human roles and AI capabilities are blurring right before our eyes. And pretty soon, the most valuable teammate on your factory floor might just be an algorithm.